Hello from the people of the internet. I am Hyper Super Sora, and welcome back to the Spider-manathon, where today we're tackling the Amazing Spider-Man. Is it amazing? Not so much, but there is good in it. People always go on about, oh, Tobey Maguire, or oh, Tom Holland. There's a third one there too, Andrew Garfield, and he's pretty fucking good. Now, let me get into the brief plot synopsis before I go off on what I think is good and what I think is bad. So, Peter, we see him as a little kid playing hide and seek with his dad. Yes, his dad. We get to see his actual parents in this instead of just Uncle Ben and Aunt May. I'll get back to that. And his parents have to go away, leave them with May and Ben, and he pretty much stays with them until we get to the events of the movie. His parents basically pretty much abandon him. Super interesting science stuff to do with it. And Peter's dad likes his secret compartments because he has them all over the place and people never think, what if this drawer is false? I can hear rattling in this briefcase, but where is it? But yeah, then we flash forward to Peter in high school. Where, remember how in the first Spider-Man movie I said it was overdone how people would bully Peter? Well, this one it has the opposite problem, where I'm thinking, no, this guy's a cool kid. He's part of the in crowd. He's a popular guy. No way this guy's a nerd who gets bullied. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that. But he gets into a fight, gets his ass royally kicked. It comes home to Uncle Ben and Aunt May. And through some series of events, finds this little secret thing that his dad used to have. Tracks it down, finds Kirk Connors, and talks and tries to figure out some answers to do with his dad and what he was researching that caused him to vanish. Also, there's a Gwen Stacy here. She's not really that important in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, she's hot, she's awesome, she does things. She is personally my favorite part of the movie. The relationship between Andrew Garfield and, what's the actor's name? Emma Stone? The chemistry those two actors have is pretty good. But especially since I think they were dating at the time, so. The best part of this movie is the romance between Gwen and Peter. The rest, I'm going to get into that. Where did I leave off? Ah yeah. Meet Kirk Connors, who has figured out the research. He's lost an arm, so he's trying to figure out a way to grow it back. Through cross-species genetics, which Kurt and Peter's father were researching. Transferring lizard DNA for humans so they could have the ability to grow back a limb. Why not a starfish? Why lizards? And if we're doing that thing, why not talk about the jellyfish that can control its age? I'd like to stay in my 20s forever. But yeah, they eventually figure it out. But Peter has to sacrifice some of his home life to do it. Eventually forgetting to pick up Aunt May after a thing. Uncle Ben gets a little angry at him. I'll get back to that later. And Peter runs out after they have some daddy issues fights. Once again, I'll get into it later. But while Peter's out because he decided to run away from his problems, Uncle Ben's trying to hunt him down. Peter lets a thief go by who's carrying a gun. Ben tries to do the right thing. Boom. No more Uncle Ben. Strange how in the last series he died in the first movie but managed to appear in all three. In this one he's just a footnote. Peter's at this point gotten the spider powers because he went to Oscorp to try to figure out more things about what happened to his dad. He got bit by the spider and got the powers. It seemed... Focus. With these new powers, he was slacking off of his home life, which caused Ben to be a little bit angry with him. To which I would have responded with flipping up onto the ceiling, sticking onto it, and going, "I've been trying to figure out this." So Peter is trying to get Ben's killer. He's pretty much going on the warpath. Until that's where he figures out to get the master of magic luchador thing. He meets up with his new girlfriend, Gwen, and his father, a cop. And something I like in this movie is that the cops are actually competent. They're after Spider-Man, they're after criminals, and they're pretty goddamn good at it too. Yeah, Spider-Man can dodge bullets, but they're able to nick him every once in a while. They are not letting his life be easy. They're not working with him. Especially since, don't remember his first name, but Gwen's dad points out he's not a hero, even though Peter claims that he is. He points out he's only going after these specific people. Well, he's not doing this for justice or anything like that. He's out for revenge. And Peter actually fucking takes notice of this and tries his best to stop doing that and actually help other people. Uncle Ben's killer's still out there. Well, Toby got Uncle Ben's killer, fucking killed him too. Or you could say he forgave him in Spider-Man 3 and just let him go. I don't care. It was Spider-Man 3, guys. We know. He did the good because it was good. Okay? Great power comes great responsibility. Those words are never said in this movie. It was overly elongated and made needlessly complex. And you want to know where those words came from? Uncle Ben sent them, but they came from Peter's dad. I will get to it, I promise. So Spider-Man is actually trying to help other people. Meanwhile, with Kurt, pretty much his funding got cut at Oscorp. Pretty much told, yeah, you're not giving us the results we want, beat it, and we're taking all your shit too. So he resorts to testing it on himself, becoming the Lizard. Goes on a rampage, goes a little bit cuckoo, and decides everyone should be giant mutant lizards like me. I mean, is there really a downside to that? Also, there was a point in this where he had his comic book design with the coat, and he ripped off the coat, and when that happened, I'm just like, fuck you. People got paid to flip off the fan base. Fuck you. Christ. Rampage is on a bridge where Peter here has to save some people. Has to make the choice between saving people or trying to hunt down this monster. He chooses to save some people. Peter puts it together. Hey, Dr. Hunters could be part of this. So he hunts him down in the sewer. Or after talking to the man. And after they fight, where Peter loses, he gets away. And leaves his camera where Kurt figures out that Peter's Spider-Man. Attack at school. Cool, Gwen does things. I'm going to throw you out the window now. What? Ah! Peter tries to bring up to Gwen's dad, the chief of police. He's that, hey, Dr. Connors might have something to do with this giant lizard person, to which I say, why didn't he take the tiny lizard giant mouse thing, or at least a picture of it to show, hey, there is some credibility to what I'm saying. But instead of writing him off as a crazy man, and who I don't like because he just so happens to like Spider-Man, and he actually does some follow-up on that, try to see if he can figure it out. Too little too late, because Liz is making his plan. Noticing a lot of too much stuff in this movie. By the way, Peter revealed his secret identity to Gwen in a very quite attractive manner. Climax of the movie. The lizard's about to unleash this big noxious gas that's about how to turn all the people into lizard people. He's already done it to some people already in terms of self-defense or other things. Gwen's in the building trying to make a cure for this, and Peter's trying to get there. Here while he got shot in the leg confronting some police officers, where Captain Stacy revealed that he is Spider-Man. So how many people do know Peter's secret identity now? The Lizard, Gwen, he volunteered that one, so I'll cut him some slack there, and Chief of Police. And who doesn't know? Aunt May. I will get to it. Peter and Gwen are able to save the day and save Connor as he doesn't die. He actually just goes to jail. As they set up for more movies yet to come. Also, Gwen and Peter break up for a little bit because Gwen's dad died. I said not to have her involved, but Peter can't keep a promise to save his life. Okay. There's so much other stuff in this movie that happens. It's been a while since I watched it, but I want to talk about things. 1. Uncle Ben and Aunt May are fucking nothing in this movie. They're nothing. 1. Aunt May should know he's Spider-Man. Straight up. Period. Never should she be surprised that he is Spider-Man. It's just like with every version of Aunt May we get in the movies. We had the best one in the first 3 movies, and then every subsequent time it just gets worse. To this one where she doesn't matter. And Uncle Ben, oh my god, I hated this Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben should be like the key male role model for Peter's life. Like, no, Uncle Ben's the one who matters to me. I could not save him. This is my responsibility. He did the right thing, so should I. Meanwhile, in this movie, Uncle Ben, yeah, but what about my dad? What about my girlfriend's dad? What about Kirk Connors, my dad's partner? He doesn't even get the great power comes great responsibility. He picked that up from Peter's dad. And yeah, I know they wanted to go with, hey, you're not my real dad. But guess what? Uncle Ben's raised him since what? He was 6? Dad who's never there? Uncle that was. Yeah, there could be some abandonment issues there. Here, with his parents having to leave for God knows how long. Or, Uncle Ben's death. So explore that. Lizard is kind of boring. That's really all I gotta say. They don't do a lot with him, which is a shame since he's the main villain. He's not that interesting. He's not acted extremely well or extremely bad either. But there's just really nothing really going on with him. It's just like, there's nothing grabbing me. There's nothing saying, hey, this is really bad, or hey, this is really good. It's just in the middle. And that's kind of the worst place you can be. Would you rather be good or bad? The worst thing a form of entertainment can do is bore you. And that's what Lizard does. Doesn't take any risks that either pay off or fail. It's just bland. Why does Peter want to know the Lizard? because it's involved with his dad. And that's where I think most of my problems in this movie come up. Peter's parents. You want to know why they matter? They fucking don't. Not in this movie. Not in the next one either. They wanted to set up this whole big universe with Spider-Man, set up all these different movies without making the first movie actually great, actually amazing. You want to know what was amazing? Gwen and Peter. Gwen and Peter were the amazing parts of this movie, what carried me through it. Because I didn't care that Uncle Ben was shit. I didn't care how bland the lizard was. I didn't care about how Peter's dad and the mystery around that. Nor his wish-washy with parental role model, while switching between like 4 at once, and one of them he just ignored and his uncle. Didn't care about Aunt May not knowing that he wasn't Spider-Man. And although the egg scene was nice, I liked that. The best part of this movie was the romance between Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker. And how much did I bring up Gwen Stacy in the plot synopsis? I had to force her in there. Because we were too focused on getting Peter's parents to matter. Some throwaway stuff would have been fine enough. Setting up these things with Oscorp as Norman Osborn is the big, penultimate bad guy of this 6-movie long series. They couldn't even make it to 2. But that romance, the romance between Gwen and Peter, how often do I find myself in a comic book movie, in an action movie going, the romance. The romance was the best part. Damn. Andrew Garfield is a smartass in this movie. He's kind of an asshole, which I like, since Spider-Man is an asshole. I'm not sure if I brought this up in the Tobey Maguire movies, but my biggest problem with him is that he was Peter Parker all the time. Meek, kind of not really saying that much, kind of a dork. He was never really a dick. But Andrew Garfield has the opposite problem, where he's never really that dorky or anything. He's always hyper-competent, badass asshole. So if I mesh the two together, I could get this perfect Spider-Man I want. No, Tom Holland is not it. I will get to those movies eventually, but man, do I have some problems with them. If I could have told them, the filmmakers, back in time, what to actually focus on, I would have told them, you need to dial back on setting up all this other future shit that doesn't matter and focus on making a good movie first. Which means, you need to focus on the lizard. You need to focus on his relationship with his aunt and uncle, and Gwen Stacy. Gwen worked. Ben and May, not so much. Lizard, blank. And so if you got this thing that works, you need to hard focus on it. And make it the best goddamn thing you could have made it to be. That relationship between Gwen and Peter should have been the core that this movie was formed around. But it wasn't. It was Peter's dad. And all the sciencey connections that he had. And it doesn't work. Since we never meet him, well, we do meet him once, but I don't care about him. I don't know who I do care about. The people who raised him, the people who surround, the people who actually influence him. And we don't care about them. We care about a deadbeat dad that wasn't there. We should care about the girlfriend in his life. We should care about the aunt and uncle who love him. And we should care about the friends and family that keep pushing him forward. His dad left. Tough shit. Who cares? And when they did plan to eventually have his dad prop back up, Peter's reaction should be, get the fuck out of my life. That was it. Did I like Amazing Spider-Man? Yes. I know I've been going on this big tirade about how much this shit doesn't work, but really, the relationship between Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker just works flat out. The charisma of Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone carries this movie on the back full force. Is it the best Spider-Man movie? No. Is it still a good one? Yes. What'd you guys think of Amazing Spider-Man? Leave a section in the comments section down below. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. And subscribe for more daddy issues. And hit that little notification bell to see when I upload all the time. Till next time, I'm a Hyper Super Sora. Sayonara.